Hi everyone, I'm very excited to host Evelina Dineva, Head of Content at NFT Plazas. I have read articles by Evelina on the website, and it's so much detailed and comprehensive work. And I highly recommend everyone to check out NFT Plazas. So thanks a lot, Evelina, for being on the show and sharing amazing content in the community.
Hi there. Hi, everyone. And thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to talk about NFTs and just share my experience. And thank you also for reading NFT Plazas. And yeah, the team puts a lot of hard work into the content and trying to bring the best news and educational content. So I really appreciate the support.
So before we do like a deep dive into what is NFT, what are various applications, can you give us some overview about NFT plazas and uh, why one should go to NFT plaza?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so with NFT Plazas, we are one of the most popular NFT news websites. And each day we post regular articles about the latest news. Um, and we also have a really good educational section. Actually, NFT Plazas used to be called DCL Plazas. And the founder, Chris, he was really only into the metaverse before and a huge fan of Decentraland. So until January 2021, before that, I think for 1 or 2 years, no, maybe 2 years, he was only covering menus. And then his interest expanded. He saw like NFTs were going to go big and that really the market was starting to grow. So he rebranded it to NFT Plazas. And then that's when the team grew and the focus shifted to just the overall market. So, yeah, I would say it's really great for just getting knowledge on everything from DAOs to metaverse things to crypto art. And we have a lot of different columnists. So our writers specialize in a certain field. So yeah, we cover really everything. And yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
and I saw you guys also have interview section as well on the website, which is quite insightful.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. So we have two crypto art columns is by me. I interview artists for my crypto art Sundays column, artists that I love and that I really resonate with their work. And then we have another columnist. Her name is Sayla Mars on Twitter, and she does more in-depth interviews, which are also really amazing and just really great way to get to know the space and see who is doing what. And we interview of different artists. Some are uh, new to the space, others are quite popular. Gives you a feel for what's happening in the crypto art space. And also the artists share how experience has been. So if new artists coming into the space, it's really great to read these interviews to see what our journeys have been like.
Got it. I'm curious to know, Evelina, like what was your aha moment of getting into NFT or crypto space or
Yeah, actually, that's a really funny one because uh, I got into NFTs before I got into crypto. I
Oh,
didn't know, I actually didn't know at all much about crypto when I became interested in NFTs. And it wasn't that long ago. It was in like September or October 2020 when I heard about NFTs from a friend. And yeah, he just, so I used to actually, my background is technical writing. So I've been traveling a lot and working online. And I was at a co-working space. I don't know if you're familiar with what that is, but yeah, it's basically people who travel and work online, and these co-working spaces are just all around the world, and you can go there. It's basically an office that you pay for, but you can meet other travelers there who work online. And usually these spaces have workshops, and yeah, just really nice for what you call a digital nomad, or basically a remote worker. Um, and yeah, so I was at this co-working space, and I had another job where I was writing about technical things. And then yeah, this friend was telling me he's working for an NFT startup, and I was like, what on earth is NFTs, an NFT startup? And he was like, yeah, blockchain. And he didn't really want to talk about it because he was just I mean, I think now like so many people have heard of it, but at that time it was really weird, and he just like didn't want to explain what blockchain is. But I was really interested. I was like, I am like, what is this? I have to know this. And then yeah, he said a few things, and I was like, I don't really get this. And then the one day there was a Nifty Gateway, which is a really popular crypto art marketplace. Um, and yeah, he was like, you should try. Come and help me try get this piece by this artist called Slime Sunday. There's a drop on there, but usually it sells out in like a second.
Mhm.
And you could buy it for like 69 cents, and then I don't know, you sell it on the market like for $1,000 or $2,000 5 minutes later. This was like how crazy everything was. This was already in 2020. um and then I thought, okay, this sounds so bizarre, like people buying this digital art on this blockchain thing and then selling it for a lot of money. But yeah, so that really got me interested. I went on Nifty Gateway, and yeah, of course we didn't get the piece because all the bots get it. um and then yeah, so I immediately went home after that, and I started watching these videos about crypto art. And naturally, I'm interested in art. I'm not an artist, but I've always collected art and just really love art. So that was really actually what got me interested. um and so yeah, I researched these videos about crypto art and what are NFTs, and I went down the rabbit hole. And then yeah, I was just reading about it here and there for like 1 or 2 months. And then again, a few months later, I tried to help this friend buy some parcel on the Sandbox. And yeah, so the Sandbox is a metaverse, a gaming metaverse. And yeah, that's when I afterwards was really like, wow, this is insane. I need to really know what's happening here. And that's when also I found out about ETH, and just started reading about crypto. And then yeah, I became so interested in it. I joined NFT Plazas. I just started looking for work that is related to NFTs and with writing, as that's my specialty. And I was really lucky to connect with Chris, the founder, and it was just the perfect timing because, yeah, I was the first one to join the team, and now we've got a lot of people, maybe like 15 people. Um,
Oh.
and so, yeah, him and I were working closely together for quite a while before we got new people. And yeah, I was just there at like the right time, the right place. And that's how it started, really just so randomly. I would never have expected that. It's amazing when you find something that you find so interesting and that you didn't even know existed.
Mhm. That's super interesting. And uh, I I'm also very much into like digital nomad culture, and you are the
Mhm.
first guest I have who is like a proper digital nomad in
Oh,
on
that's
my
great.
show.
That's
We,
amazing.
we
Yeah,
I'll ask some questions later about like your digital nomad life and culture. So this
sure.
is
I have many stories.
it's awesome. Yeah, so maybe this might be a good time where you can give us some overview about what is NFT and like the whole spectrum
Mhm,
around it. So it will set up a good
mhm.
base for the audience.
Okay, so you can see my PowerPoint, right?
Yeah, it's not in full screen mode, but like I can see the PowerPoint. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure how I've made it full screen on my screen, so I'm not sure how it
Oh,
looks for you now. You still don't see it full screen?
Yeah, but I think it's visible, so it's fine if it's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just give a very brief overview because this can be a super long presentation. But just for people who don't know much about NFTs, I'll give you an overall look at that world. So this is the company I work for, NFT Plazas. So please check it out if you want to know about the latest news, and you can check the educational section as I mentioned before. Okay, so I'll quickly cover what an NFT is, why people buy NFTs, and the types of NFTs, some marketplaces, a few examples of NFT artists and collectibles, and making money from NFTs. That's, I guess, that we can really discuss more in depth.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
a few other points like the different blockchains and gaming, and the future of NFTs. So, all right. So I think a lot of people equate NFTs with just art. That's what people usually hear of. As I myself also had, it was the first time I heard about NFTs was through art. But basically, an NFT, so NFT stands for non fungible token, and it just refers to a token with specific metadata, which proves ownership. So it's different to crypto in the sense that crypto tokens are fungible, and like one Bitcoin has the same value as another Bitcoin. But with NFTs, one NFT will not necessarily have the same value as another one, and it's completely unique. So in the most simple way, it proves ownership and it has its own metadata, the token. So, of course, we can go into more detail, but
Mhm.
I believe actually that's more your field of expertise as you're a developer,
Mhm.
the technical side. So, okay, um, why do people buy NFTs? I think at the moment, the market is still quite immature. So, many people buying it as a flex, and it shows you have a certain status, a certain amount of money, and you're part of a community. Some people buy NFTs because they're really into collecting, especially art collectors. Of course, also for fun and to make money. I think most of us at the moment in the NFT space are buying NFTs to flip them and to try and make
Mhm.
money. And I think really the real collectors are probably really the whales that can afford to collect. Um, and of course, some people, do like to, I guess, especially artists, they love collecting other artists' pieces. So, I think those are the main points. And I wrote on here, it's a strange place indeed with strange people because it is quite a strange community. Um, I know at first I didn't really, and I was like, why on earth would people buy this,
Mhm.
But it's really fun once you become part of it, and you buy something and talk to others and you feel the vibe of the community. Um, so also I just wanted to again, going back to what is an NFT, I see this example used quite a lot, which I think is really easy for people to understand. Um, it's like with the Mona Lisa example, that you have one original Mona Lisa and you can have many copies of it, but there's only one original. So basically, it's the same. If you apply it to digital art, the NFT helps to show which is the original digital artwork. And I think this is really good, especially for digital art, where until now, artists haven't really had the chance to sell their digital art and to have ownership of that. Until now it's been like just right click and save.
Mhm.
So all right. um all right, so there are many different types of NFTs. um And the most popular use cases right now is, of course, for art. And then collectibles have been huge in the past, I don't know, 8 months or so, or almost 1 year. Then gaming, which I think is going to be really big in the next few years. And music, I'm interested to see where that will go. That hasn't really exploded yet. And of
Mhm.
course, I think in the future, we'll see it being used for like documents, tickets, films, and more serious things. But I don't think we're quite there yet. However, the market moves very quickly, so you never know. We might
Mhm.
see that towards the end of the year. Um, all right. And then, so here are just examples of really the most known and popular NFT marketplaces for art and collectibles. And here I talk a lot about art and collectibles because it's really the main market right now. Of course, gaming is also a big part of it, but I would say really most of the action is with art and collectibles. Um, and Solana is becoming quite popular, and Tezos is also trying to compete, but
Mhm.
Ethereum is still really the number one place for NFTs. And uh, personally, I'm not so open-minded yet as to buy NFTs on any other blockchain. I'm still loyal to Ethereum, even though the gas fees are crazy.
Right.
So, anyways, these are just some examples. Nifty Gateway, which was the one I had heard of first, and this really used to be my favorite marketplace. Now I find that the user interface is a little bit too confusing, and I don't enjoy it as much as before. Then there's Super Rare, Makers on Origin, OpenSea. That is really the number one. Anyone can buy and sell NFTs on there, and it's got everything.
Mhm.
And then Rarible and Foundation. And lately there's some competition popping up. So it will be interesting to see in the next year if these places are actually going to keep their place or new ones are going to take over. Um, yeah. Okay. So yeah, here I mentioned also below how we have other ones on Solana, Tezos, and Binance, but not as popular. And I find a lot of them actually have problems quite often.
Mhm.
So yeah, like I said, I'm loyal to Ethereum.
Mhm.
um, and yeah, here we have just a few examples of the most popular collectibles. I think most people will have heard of Bored Apes, even if you don't know much about NFTs. You know, over the news if you watch news. Uh, so yeah, this is like the project of 2021. um, and many people just became super rich from these collectibles, which is amazing. Um, and personally, I love how, yeah, on the one hand, it's people criticize like, oh, but it's just a picture and selling for millions. On the other hand, I think it's amazing that it's like so controversial to the financial system, and that these young people or old people are just getting super rich from owning a picture. I think this is amazing, and I'm really interested to see how this will develop. Okay, then we have the CryptoPunks, who are like the OGs of NFTs and one of the first projects. And then oh my gosh, what was this one called?
Cool
Cool
cat.
Cat.
Yeah, yeah.
Was it Cool Cats? There's so many Gutter Gang and Cool Cats and yeah. So then we have the Cool Cats, which are also like these pictures that again became really popular and are selling for crazy amounts. Parallel of not all of them are valuable, but some of them were like, I don't know if they still are, but they were going for like 60, 70 ETH at one time. Um, and then some popular crypto artists, Beeple. This is the 500 days one that he sold for 69 million last year in March, which was really like the big thing for the NFT world. That was really like the biggest event of the year, I would say. Um, and then X Copy, also a popular figure in the space. Trevor Jones, he's become quite iconic, especially he's quite well known on Nifty Gateway. Um, and then Ferocious, amazing artist as well, who's also made it really big in the space. And yeah, so those are just a few examples. I mean, there's way more artists and collectibles, and I just picked a few of the many popular ones. So yeah, just to give you an example of what is really the most well known. So okay, I'm not gonna go into this how to buy and sell NFTs unless someone really wants to know. They can ask, or they can check it out on NFT Plazas. We have a section on that. Um, and yeah, I think this we can touch upon later. Or I don't know, just to mention briefly, perhaps that, yeah, well, the action is on Twitter and Discord, but Discord can be a bit confusing if you using that. So I think Twitter, if you really want to know what's happening in the community and be part of it, Twitter is the place to be. All right. Um, and I think let's go back to this later about making
Mhm.
money from NFTs. Um, and then, yeah, this is just useful articles again on NFT Plazas, how to become a crypto artist. This has really useful tips, this article things. So it's really great if you're new to the space and you don't know where to start. Um, and I think we can also touch upon later NFTs and gaming. I want to discuss it a bit. I'm not a gaming expert,
Mhm.
so my opinions are really very basic. And yeah, I just want to also just a very brief verses, because this was really confusing for me at first when I joined the space. But yeah, there's basically a few main ones, and Decentraland is the most popular one, I would say. Then we have Somnium Space, and just to mention, they all have a different vibe. They're not the same. Like Somnium Space is really VR focused, so and it looks like much more elegant and luxurious, and it just looks very different to Decentraland, for example. And then um, the sandbox for gaming. It hasn't gone live yet. Hopefully this year that will happen, and I think that will be super exciting. There's a lot going on in the sandbox, so many partnerships and things have, yeah, just so many games joining. So let's see, this will be a really interesting one to follow. And then Crypto Voxels, which has got like more of a punk arty vibe, and a lot of art galleries are there and a lot of art events. So yeah, I think it's worth just visiting the different metaverses to get a different feel, especially if you want to buy land in the metaverse or build something. It's really worth getting to know them and to see which one you resonate with the most. So yes, this is just my brief overview. Um, and oh, I see someone's commented to add to why people buy NFT list to support creators they like. Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I think that goes with the collecting aspect. Collectors buy to support the creators they like, but that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and incredible presentation, Evelina. Like it was like quite thorough, and thanks a lot for sharing all the.
I went over it really quickly. Usually I discuss it much more in depth. But I would like us to also have more of a chat and not to be here like giving, an educational 1 hour session.
I see. So one thing I find challenging is like keeping up to date with the latest projects and trends, because there are several developments going on. Is booming a lot. So what's your secret recipe of finding the projects and keeping up to date?
Honestly, I would say that is probably the most time consuming part of the job, surprisingly. Because, yeah, like you said, there is so much going on. And uh, basically, I spend so much time on Twitter.
Mhm.
um, and just, I've personally made different lists. There's a section on Twitter where you can make lists. So I have like blockchain gaming and art and NFT art platforms, collectibles, and then just people that I find post useful information. So that's one way. And then yeah, just following people that I feel like they share useful content. Uh, Although I don't know, honestly, the Twitter algorithm I feel is really strange because
Mhm.
sometimes for weeks on end I will see mostly Bored Ape news for some reason, or like just collectibles and I don't know, post about that, and I don't see any useful content, and I really have to search so hard to actually find something good. And then other weeks, I don't know, I will get all the useful information I need. So yeah, it's a really tricky one. I don't know how Twitter works, or like how it why one week it shows certain things and another week not. I don't know if it has to do with the things I comment or like, or I have no idea. um and so yeah, it is tricky to keep up to date, but I think if you have a interest in something particular, then you would probably follow people in that field. But yeah, I try to, of course, follow all kinds of different people to get an overall view. And of course, I follow other popular news websites um, to see what they're posting. But it's much better to get news straight from the community. And then also, we have a lot of people who send us content, sponsored content that we write about their projects. And yeah, that's basically how I keep up to date. Oh, and I forgot to mention also Discord, checking Discord and some of the groups, what's going on there, especially with the metaverses. The groups are really useful to see what people are building and yeah, what's going on.
Got it. And what are your three favorite Discord channel?
Ah, wow. Haha. That's a hard one. Okay. Personally, I'm very biased because my favorite channels are like the ones for my favorite collectibles. So I really like the Rumble Kong's channel. So I have one of those, and I would say that is my favorite one. For some, okay, even though it's a very male oriented project, and actually I think my profile picture looks quite terrible. It doesn't look female at all on Twitter, but for some reason I really enjoy the community there. I don't know, there's something about it that's really active and welcoming, and I just love what people post on there. Even though I'm not one of these people that's always posting on Discord, because I mean, I have to work and I don't really know what people is chatting about on there the whole day. But I do like dropping in there from time to time and just seeing what's happening. um, and then of course I really, yeah, this is super biased, but the NFT Plazas channel also has really it's really picked up quite a bit in the past few months with people asking for help and other people answering. So I think it's quite useful if you want to get answers about anything generally related to NFTs. And then the other one I really love is Fox Fam. These are other collectibles that I just really enjoy, and I really like the cute art. Usually, I'm not into those kind of NFTs that are cute and all of that, but I really enjoy that, and also I feel there the community is really nice. Um, and then yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because for me, the Discord groups, I enjoy them if I have, I mean, other than getting news from them, I will only really join them if I have an NFT and I can participate in the conversation. Um,
Mhm.
Otherwise, I don't know, you don't really feel that connected to the community.
I see. And like
Yeah.
especially with a lot of Discord channels, like it's difficult to keep up, and there are like people sometimes spamming you and in DMs, so it's also
Oh,
gets a
that's a
bit
really
chaotic
big
sometimes.
problem. That's a
Yeah.
really big problem. I get because I'm in so many channels, and I get so many spam DMs a day. I don't know about you, but I think I must get like 20 a day. I just click on X, like delete, delete. And I believe there is actually a method to stop that. I just haven't actually done it yet, but a friend did tell me that he figured out how to stop getting those DMs. But yeah, it's really annoying. It's so annoying. There's so much spam. And I also have to say, since we're talking about this, like you have to be so careful in Discord. I think especially for newcomers, really like do not click on any links from DMs that you get that say like, even if the DM says from Decentraland or Immutable X or any popular project that you're part of, it's not. It's a scam.
Mm.
So yeah, if anyone is listening to this, also please check out our article on scams in the NFT space. I think it's super useful. We collected so many different types of scams, and I think there's many more out there that we don't even know about. It's really hard to keep track of all of them. um, but yeah, this is something really to watch out for. It's just crazy how many people are getting hacked. uh, I think in the last month I've never seen so many people posting about getting hacked. It's really the Wild West.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
that's really good that you brought that up, because like if you don't have all this like knowledge, it's very easy to get scammed. And like since it's like uh decentralized and crypto is like, it's gonna be difficult to track this uh track the whole thing and like get back your NFT. It's gonna be challenging. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's really challenging. And you're lucky if you get them back.
yeah, I was thinking like to
Yeah.
your earlier point, like so on Discord, uh when I change the setting from only allow messages from friend, like all the DMs stop. In case anyone wants to genuinely have a conversation, they need to send a friend request, and then only I receive like DMs. So it's like a easy trick
Oh,
which worked out for me. Yeah.
okay. So it's that simple.
Yep. Yeah. It's just one
All
setting.
right. I think, wow, okay, I should try that. I thought my friend sent me something more complicated, and I was like, oh, I don't feel like figuring this out now. But if it's just a setting and you click on that, that's great. I still
Yep.
find Discord confusing. I've been using it now for more than a year, and there's just so many things on there, so many options and settings, and I never know where to click on the right button. And yeah, that's really a whole platform on its own.
Correct. Yeah. And things are getting more and more advanced features on Discord. So,
Yeah,
Evelina,
totally. Yeah.
uh, I'm curious to know, like, when you are buying an NFT, like, what are the criterias you look into the project before you mint, and what are some red signals you may find on that project?
Okay, yeah, good question. So I don't want to give any financial advice to anyone, just to put it out there. Um, for me, I have to say, firstly, I just look if I like the project. Of course, this is important. And then the team. I think the team is really important to see that it's a legitimate team. Like, okay, for example, with Rumble Kongs, I wouldn't say that I necessarily bought it because I like the pictures. Like I said, it's really very masculine. So
Mhm.
it's not really for females. But I saw that one of the founders is, I think he was from the Sandbox. Yeah, I think so. Um, Correct me anyone if I'm wrong. But yeah, I saw they have a really good team, and I thought that, and yeah, of course, okay, you can never really trust the roadmap, but I thought with a good team and what they had in plan, that it would be a good project. Um, but yeah, that project I mostly bought because I thought it would be a good investment, like not so much for the aesthetic appeal. And I think, yeah, if it's like people who are creating it and they are involved in anything else that is quite big and legitimate, like the Sandbox, I yeah, the project has a really good chance of doing well. I wouldn't really buy NFTs that are made that come from influencers. I'm not so crazy about supporting those projects. I trust more if it's like, developers and of other really legitimate platforms and projects, and not so much the influencers. Um, so I think, yeah, the team is important. Um, and then, of course, like another example, since we were talking about Foxfam before, there I just really liked the art. And I saw that it's a design studio who have been making animations for a long time. And actually, yeah, that project hasn't picked up too much. Well, a little bit. Not, I think, as much as everyone expected. And that one was recommended by a friend, actually, who really, I don't know, he always makes really good investments. Like, he has a really good network, speaks to a lot of people. Um, like, he has so many NFTs, and I think only like once or twice he's made a poor investment. But all the
Oh.
other, like, he's really good at this. So I just thought, I like the pictures, and I'll take his advice on this. Um, so I would say, yeah, the team and the networking, like just getting to know people that uh, know other people in the space, because it's really quite a network, and a lot of it depends on, yeah, I think, yeah, with some of them, of course, there's other people pumping the projects, and it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Yeah, and what other point can I mention? So I would say those are my two main points: the team, and then, yeah, for me personally, getting advice from others, networking. Um, because I'm very risk adverse. Like, I wouldn't rush to buy an NFT randomly. Oh, right, and World of Woman, that one I thought it had good potential because it was really one of the first female ones that was going big and that looked kind of nice. There were some other female ones before, but I don't know, they just didn't really look great. And I thought also the artist was really good behind that project, and I could see right away that it was really getting a lot of interest. So
Mhm.
with some projects you can kind of get a feel for it, but I always say to people, for newcomers, it's really risky. I have to say, it's so risky. Like, and don't buy an NFT if it's like money you need.
Mhm.
If you have some money to put aside, get an NFT, but don't expect to buy something random on OpenSea and make money. Yes, you could be lucky, but I think it's really important to just get a feel for the market and be in the space for a while, and just, yeah, get to know others and get to see what's happening. Because, yeah, I know a lot of people that I meet, and when I tell them, oh, I work for an NFT news company, they're like, oh, okay, so like, which NFT should I buy? And like, they think they can buy something and make money. And I'm like, this is really hard, because most NFTs that, yeah, people making money from, they bought them when they were super cheap, and now you cannot afford it.
Mhm.
And I don't know which is going to be the next big one. This is so hard to tell. um so yeah, I think you have to be really cautious, and just, I didn't buy an NFT for the first 6 months, like being in the space and even writing news, and I was just following along all the time what's happening. But I just didn't I really first got to know the space and see how things are before making a decision. So I think don't rush into it. Yeah, that would be my advice. It's a really tricky question.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. And according to you, what are some opportunities for artists or designers in this space? And I'm talking on like a broader spectrum. So one could mint NFT, that is one way, but one could also be a content writer. One could join the Discord and be a part of design guild. Like what are some possibilities and in this space?
You mean for artists, or just generally for people to be in the NFT space?
Yeah, like focused on artists and designers.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, I guess. Well, I want to say generally for, I mean, for artists and designers, yeah, you can, sell your NFTs. But I want to say generally, if you're a creator in the space, and of course, even if you're an artist, if you have some experience with, I know a lot of artists have experience with the metaverse, like building things on crypto voxels and, making their own galleries. I think there's like even now at NFT Plazas, there's opportunities for being an events manager. And I think quite a few platforms are looking for people to manage some events in the metaverse, and I just host live, live events with interviewing other people and talking about a specific topic. So I think that's one way. And of course, if you're an artist, you can also like join how we have so, well, before we had an artist that had her own column. Now she's not part of the team anymore, but yeah, she was an artist, and she would also talk about her art and interview other artists. So that's another way. I think there's quite a lot of opportunities uh, for to join just different companies, whether it's like a part-time thing or for fun, and to share what you do. Then also, I know a lot of people are part-time community managers. So yeah, apart from selling your art, you can, manage a community and still get your name out there and connect with people. I think that's a really good way of getting to know others in the space if you're managing a community and you get to become closer with people. And yeah, so I would say there's quite a few different opportunities. In writing, there's definitely quite a lot of opportunities right now. I often see flat writers, and I think not many people can write well and know the NFT space well. So yeah, if you're a creator and you have some writing skills and the knowledge, I think yeah, writing is also a really good avenue.
That's super interesting that you mentioned. Like, can you elaborate a more on like what are roles and responsibilities of event and community manager? Like, how can they prepare for this role?
Yeah, so I I'm not an expert because honestly, I think these are roles that are so new. Maybe community manager not so much, but yeah, being a event manager in the metaverse, wow, I myself am not even sure, but I guess you would have to know quite a few different communities and how to market the event, how to just find your way around the metaverse. I guess you'd have to know more technical things. I'm not entirely sure because I'm really not a metaverse expert. Of course, I've explored and I've been inside the metaverses, but I'm not sure exactly how to even host an event on there or how that works. But I guess it would also be a lot of marketing, to try and get the people on there. Of course, like with anything, I think marketing is still a really big part of yeah, anything to do with NFTs. Um, and yeah, I cannot give the specific details. I think that's a really new role.
Hmm.
Uh, and then for being a community manager, I think that's quite a tough role, actually, just knowing how to engage the audience or the people. And I think the most important part with yeah being the community manager is just to keep the conversation going and to post things regularly, answer people's questions, help them out, and just know how to keep the channel active. And yeah, just to share to get other people to share what they know. Actually, this reminds me, one of the really good Discord groups, which actually is, yeah, it's not so active anymore because the company moved its focus to other things, but it was Grow Your Base. So it's a metaverse development company. And in the beginning, like 2 years ago, they had a really amazing Discord, which they did a great job at because members would share such amazing information on there about new projects, new artists, and so many people extracted so much value from there. So I think that's what really makes a great community manager, when you can get people to share what they know, what's coming up, and keep others up to date. And when you know you can go on there and you'll find useful information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that the value is like what brings the community back and engage more. So that's
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. I think like it would be a good time to do a deep dive on your on the article of highlights of 2021.
Yeah, that's a really fun one. Yeah, so I had a really fun time putting this together. And we can mention a few things because there's actually quite a lot of highlights. So basically, this article covers from January to December 2021. Uh, I picked three stories of each month that I thought were really uh, the most important stories. Of course, a lot of other things happened. So yeah, if you can scroll down, you'll see these are just the images we put together. But if you go further down, I've explained like there's a title and with the yeah, you can see it there with each story. So yeah, it was in January 2021 where like we became NFT plazas and not DCL plazas anymore.
Mhm.
And you will see here I mentioned one of the main one of the big events in Decentraland art events. I remember that was a huge one. And then I don't know if anyone still will remember Polygon used to be called Matic,
Mhm.
which is really funny to think about it. And yeah, so Gary V getting into NFTs. I remember that was a huge thing. People were so excited, like, oh my goodness, Gary V bought an NFT and he's talking about NFTs. And that was really great. Um, and yeah, Decentraland celebrating its first birthday in February last year. And then Three Lao, okay, that was like one of the first NFT music NFT stories. And oh, do you remember the NBA Cool Cats craze, like the Top Shot thing? Were
I
you
have heard
there?
about it, but I wasn't active during that time. So.
Okay. Yeah, so this NBA Top Shot card thing was insane. Oh my goodness, like people are going crazy for this. I don't know if it's still a thing. I feel like it's not. I mean, I still get emails about drops, but it's not. I mean, everybody was talking about this, and I actually this was my first NFT sale. I totally forgot about this. So
Hmm.
I got I got a drop for like I think I bought it for $15. Three cards, and then one of them was super valuable, and literally like a few hours later I sold it through Discord because everyone was selling basically through Discord. There was a channel and everyone was like posting on there, and I was super new to this, so um
Oh.
I was really nervous that I might get scammed or something, that they won't send me the money, but everything worked out well. And I sold this NFT for, I think it was like, yeah, $1,000, and I got it for
No
15.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was like my first like, oh, NFTs, oh my God. I just made money from an NFT. Like, it was like super exciting moment for me. I couldn't believe it. Like me not knowing really any techie things or anything, and that I had gotten so lucky with this. And like I had no idea what I was clicking on, or this was like, I don't know, March, April, when these things were just selling like hotcake. um and
That's a very good
anyways,
story. Like of
yeah,
the first NFT and getting that much like profit and
yeah.
like experience, like it's really booster to do more in the NFT space.
Exactly. I was just I could not believe it. I was like, wow, yeah, it was unbelievable. Cuz this doesn't happen in the real world.
Mhm.
It's just like, I mean, it's insane. Nowhere else would you do that in like for no effort. You just click and then click, and you're like, "Oh
Yep.
my God, I just made money from doing nothing." um yeah. So okay, then Beepo in March. I think this is really like, this will forever be one of the biggest NFT highlights because just, yeah, 69 million was insane. And I remember actually like being there and watching the auction. And I just remember until like the last 15 seconds, I thought it would be such a fail because I think the highest bid was like 10 million. And then all of a sudden, in the last second, it was like 65. And 68, 69, and it was just whoa. Nobody expected that because just for so long it was not more than like a few million. So that was
Mhm.
really exciting as well, watching that and being part of that.
And I remember during this time, like February, March, like a lot of clubhouse discussions picked up for NFT, and like there was like a good onboarding for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I've never actually been on Clubhouse, but I know that it was really active. Is it still a lot? I think more people are using maybe Twitch or Twitter Spaces. I'm not sure. I've never used Clubhouse, but I remember seeing a lot of events on Clubhouse and people posting, that there would be a live stream. And yeah, you're right. You're
Mhm.
right about that. Then yeah, Avogotchi, for those who are fans, it's a game that yeah officially launched, which also did really well and is still doing very well. And then yeah, the Sandbox like launching its beta NFT marketplace, and it's come so far since then. Um, yeah, then Puck, another really popular crypto artist. So yeah, after Beeple was on Christie's, then Sotheby's joined the game, and they were like, "Oh, we've got Puck on our team," and yeah, he launched the collection, which was really big news. And then yeah, the crypto punks on Christie's, that was really also just so amazing. Like, who would have thought collectibles, or I don't know, that's still something people argue about, whether it's art or collectibles or what exactly it is, but either way, like having the crypto punks on Christie's, that was a big moment as well.
Mhm.
And then Eminem. So at this time, a lot of celebrities were doing cash grabs. Like every celebrity was trying to, sell an NFT. And I just chose Eminem because I thought that was a really fun one. Um, but yeah, there were a whole bunch of other celebrities. So as you see, like a
Mhm.
lot of news in the first few months was about crypto art. It was really the thing.
Mhm.
And then like later on, it's more about collectibles. And yeah, as you see in May, yeah, the bored apes, crazy. You've seen the article. I say like each one was zero point. What does it say? Is it eight? Yeah, um, 0.08 ETH.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean now one ape is like what 60 ETH or whatever it is, which is insane. And I have a funny story with this as well. So my boyfriend, who's also into NFTs, uh, he was gonna get me a bored ape, and he got for himself.
Ooh.
Um, and then which he actually sold not too long after the launch, and he kept only one for himself. Of course, yeah, he hadn't
Oh,
realized. Thank God he kept one for himself. Anyways, he was gonna give me one, but on that day, like I don't know, we had some stupid argument, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna send you a bored ape." And like, oh my gosh, if we had
no
not had
way.
I would have had a bored ape.
Oh my God. That's so funny story. Oh my God.
I really regret that. I'm like, wow, why did we have to have, I don't even remember what it was. It was something really ridiculous that we were upset about and didn't talk to each other for the day. But I would have had a bored ape. I would have had it. So never argue with your boyfriend.
Yeah, Evelina,
You
that
never know what
argument
he has in
cost you
mind.
millions.
Exactly. It could cost you millions. Yeah,
That's funny.
exactly. Um, Okay, yeah, Binance like joining the marketplace. So yeah, that was like one of the first other big blockchains that was like, we're having our own NFT marketplace, and you'll see later on the other ones start joining as well. Um, oh, and then we have, yeah, NFT gets added to the dictionary, so it's official, it exists, it's there. Yeah, and people for fun they can check out the meaning. Then we have Sotheby's in June, opens a gallery in Decentraland, which is also, I think, a really big step, to have such a big auction house joining the metaverse. And then Doggy, yeah, there was a time when all these memes were going big and selling for millions as well. And then finally the original, is it Doggy or Doge? I don't know, people pronounce it differently. I never know.
Hmm.
Is it Doge or Doggy?
I say Doge, but yeah,
Oh,
people
really?
have their own
I
version.
think
Yeah.
it's Doge, but I say Doggy for some reason.
And
Yeah. So okay, let's stick to Doge then. Yeah. When this one went up for sale, that was also a big moment. Um,
and it was also around this time, or like few months earlier, where like the shit coins were going like very high, where like
right.
Elon Musk tweeted about Doge and it picked up, and then like we saw
Yeah.
Shibu few months ago. So
You're so right. I remember there was a time when I was seeing all these Twitter stories about these people who'd bought shit coins becoming millionaires, you know?
yeah.
And yeah, yeah, that there was that craze around coins then, yeah. And then yeah, Ferocious having a collab with Christie's. Um, and oh yeah, so this was like one of the big fundraising moments for OpenSea, 100 million, and now yeah, recently they raised like way more. And then yes, South China Morning Post announces a partnership with the Sandbox. So yeah, this was like one of the first big publications, you know, news publications to join the NFT space, and especially the metaverse, which is yeah, really it was, I think many people were like super excited about that. um and oh yeah, then Axie like becoming super popular and selling for, you know, I remember this the single Axie that sold for a ridiculous amount. And yeah, at this stage people were really like starting to talk a lot about Axie Infinity. And I think it's when the documentary also came out a little bit after that. I don't remember which month. But yeah, the play to earn about the Philippines and Axie Infinity. If anyone hasn't watched it, just write that on YouTube, Axie Infinity Philippines, and you'll see it. It's a really interesting documentary about how, yeah, play to earn has helped people survive the pandemic, basically.
And like play to earn model was also revolutionary, and like Xe
Mhm.
pioneered in that like blockchain gaming space.
Yeah, we haven't touched much on that, but yes, play to earn has been a really big part of the whole space. And especially, you know, for people who love gaming, I think it's still very early because I know that there's not really any games that are really that interesting to play. I think a lot of people play it for the play to earn aspect, so we're still yet to see like the first really cool blockchain game that is like people playing it because it's super engaging and fun, you know. I mean, I think Axie Infinity is great, but it's, I think for serious gamers it's not really like that exciting. um so that's going to be, I think, a big moment when we see the first amazing blockchain game. But yes, there
Mhm.
are a lot of really cool play to earn games where you can you know, they're just fun and are supporting communities. And uh you know, Axie Infinity also has a scholarship for people who don't have money to buy items to get started in the game. Yeah, so I think play to earn is really creating a lot of opportunities for people to make income in a different way. Of
Mhm.
course, it has its positive and negative things, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So oh yeah, then Visa invests in CryptoPunks, quite a big move, you know, to have a like a big name like Visa joining the space. Um, and then Vogue magazine. So that was the first big, well-known magazine to release an NFT cover, and the artists are like two well-known artists in the space. So it was specifically Vogue Singapore that did this. And it was amazing because they also had it for the September issue, and that's like the biggest and most important issue of the year. So it was really like making a statement, you know, having also NFT covers for that issue. So I think that was a really another really amazing development for the crypto art space.
Mhm.
Then Alibaba, good old Alibaba joins the NFT marketplace. So yeah, Alibaba is a Chinese company, for those who don't know.
At some point, I heard like even TikTok was including some NFT like
I
payments or
think
like
they were
rewards.
I think they were considering that. They were talking about it. Um, I'm not sure if they actually have gone very forward with the idea, but yeah, I think this year we're probably gonna see social media platforms incorporating some NFT features, like all the big names. I'm quite sure that yeah, there will be developments in that area because a lot of them have been hinting at that, but nothing has really happened yet. But I'm sure they must be working on something behind the scenes, something big.
Yeah, because like there were people talking, and I even saw like a small video where on Twitter you could link your like ENS domain, and it you can populate your PFP art like as part of Twitter feature.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that actually that was was possible already.
I think it was in like beta, so they were like,
Ah,
I'm not
okay,
sure if
okay.
it's like public yet, but even like
Okay.
when you mentioned social media platform, like if Twitter showed some glimpses, even like TikTok is talking about, so 2022
Mm-hmm.
we might see like this on like public.
Mm-hmm. That will be really interesting to see what they come up with, the social media platforms. Um, and yeah, so Loot, this was like a really strange one. um, but yeah, for anyone who was following the space, yeah, it was this open source project, and I'm not even sure exactly how it worked. It was more techie than anything else. Do you know about Loot? Did you hear about it?
Yeah, like it's like bunch of like attributes, and the NFT is minted based on the metadata. But the things got very interesting when people started developing games combining this character, and that NFT acted as a character in those games. They had marketplace, and
Uh-huh.
it
Okay,
it's very community
interesting.
led development phenomena, and it was very viral at that time.
Yeah, exactly. I think you explained it much better than I could. Yeah, it was, I never really understood it. I think it was more for like developers and builders and people who had more technical knowledge. But yeah, this went really crazy. I remember like in one day, it just, okay, maybe not one, but 2 days, it went to like, I don't know, 50 ETH or something. It was insane. I'm not sure actually if it's still going. It probably is. Um, and then yeah, MetaMask having like 10 million users, and they had a Decentraland party for that. So that was really a memorable moment as well. And oh yeah, then Sotheby's, Christie's launched CryptoPunks, and then Sotheby's is always there as well, like competing. And they were like, okay, we're doing Bored Apes auction, and yeah, this was a huge event, and uh, yeah, they made, of course, a lot of money, and yeah,
Oh,
this was a really
was it
interesting
this?
one.
Was it this or like Christie's event where even Gary V minted his NFT of sketches, and it
Yeah,
it sold?
yeah, there was a event also with Gary V selling his little like 5-year-old doodles.
Yeah, doodles. Yeah.
They were terrible. I don't know. I mean, nothing. Yeah, I think some of these things are just such cash grabs. I don't know.
Yeah.
No
And
comment.
I
No
think,
further comment on that.
yeah, at some point, I think during the year, like people transition from like NFT just from the image to NFT with utilities. So like Gary Vee, although like the doodles were not said not so great in the art, but it provided utilities like, okay, 15 minutes interview chat with Gary Vee with that utility, or like a wine, or like, so like those utility now became like a interesting aspect of NFT.
I think that's such a good point that you mentioned that we haven't covered. That yeah, utility has become like the word on the street. um,
Hmm.
and like is everyone is just talking about it now. I think like before everyone was like committee and everyone is talking about utility. which makes sense. You know, you want to get some benefits and perks. Gary Vee was like really smart to add that, you know. And I think, yeah, if you find value in chatting to Gary Vee and going to his events, then of course it makes sense for you to get the doodles. uh, and then I think though for crypto art, it's very dangerous, this whole idea of utility, because I think it's still nice to collect art just for the sake of art, like you would do with a real physical piece, and not to expect utility. Of course, it's nice to get some other perks and
Mhm.
benefits, but I think, yeah, that's more for collectibles and other things. But for art, I do feel there's a lot of pressure and for artists to be providing more than just the art. And I think this can be quite a dangerous mindset, you know. And
Mhm.
I would like it if people, yeah, if the utility was only more for other things, and that people don't expect that from artists as well, unless of course the artist wants to provide more.
I
But
see.
yeah, I think that's a really important thing to mention. Yeah, that right now we're gonna see a big, uh, yeah, a big move and trend, and it will be interesting to see, yeah, the next NFT projects and what they will provide, and how people are gonna be creative with the whole utility aspect, because I guess there's a lot to explore there. So that will
Yeah.
be interesting to see in the next year how that will develop.
Yeah. And have you seen like rise in like creator social tokens, or like personal uh like influencer tokens projects which like got big, or
You mean like, okay, so you're asking if projects by influencers that got big?
uh, no, like a project by influencer, like when they got their like influencer tokens, or like like social tokens of
Mhm.
influencer.
I don't know. I don't really know much about the social tokens or the rise of that, but I know what you mean. I have heard about that, but I don't think it's that popular yet. Maybe this year it will
Yeah,
be. I don't know if you've heard more about it, but personally, I haven't. I haven't seen that being very popular in the space.
yeah, I have like heard projects, but it didn't go to mainstream yet, so maybe
Exactly.
2022. Yeah.
Maybe some platforms will. I know there's some NFT platforms that are more influencer oriented. Maybe those will, and maybe that will go mainstream this year. It's a good point. I do like. I remember meeting someone who was really into the whole social token thing. So, but that's all I know about it. I haven't actually seen people posting much about that.
Mhm.
Hmm. All right, and then we have yeah, Coinbase. So everybody's really talking about this right now. Is Coinbase going to be the rival of OpenSea? Who's going to conquer OpenSea? And many people are putting their bets on Coinbase. So they've released some, yeah, you can buy some projects, I believe, on there now, but it's not really fully functioning yet. So this is one to watch out for this year, to see how that will develop, the Coinbase NFT marketplace. Um, okay, and then here, this one, yeah, I threw this one in because it was just interesting to see how, other parts of the world are also just joining the NFT space. And I'm sure there's a lot more going on, uh, especially in Japan and China and those places that we don't even know about. Um, and then, yeah, FTX also announces that they are launching an NFT marketplace. Um, then in November, the Sandbox Alpha finally, although you had to buy a really expensive pass to go and check it out and see how it is. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the day they announce that it's going live. This, because I mean, it's been like in development forever now.
Yeah. Actually, they are doing Alpha 2 in January and February, and like I was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize they're still like gonna carry on with the alpha phase. Let's see how that will be.
Mhm.
Okay, then tokens.com, yeah, acquires like really expensive land, and they want to do a whole they want to be like pioneers in metaverse fashion. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I think that's going to be also a big new trend this coming year, with digital fashion. I can see a lot of people are coming into the space that are wanting to create in that and be pioneers in that. And there's a lot of interest in digital fashion. So that will be interesting to watch. Right, Christie's partners with OpenSea for the first created on-chain auction. Yeah, so still, like, you can see the art scene is quite active. Um, oh, and then this one in December was really big. The announcement of Nike acquiring Artifact. And Artifact is really popular. Like, so many people love Artifact, and they really do have some cool designs. So yeah, this was like what, the first NFT company or studio, to be acquired by like a big, um, just mainstream company. And
Mhm.
so many people were just shocked. Like, so many people did not see this coming at all. Um, and I remember for like a whole week, people were just tweeting about this and talking about it, and like, is it a good thing and is it a bad thing for Web3? And is it like gonna make NFTs more mainstream, or is this like bad for NFTs? And yeah, we're still yet to see how that will work out. Actually, I would like to go see what's happening with that, how Artifact is doing. Um, and
Yeah,
then
it's one of the biggest acquisition, right, in the space.
totally, yeah, it's really huge, really, really huge. Um, okay, and then Crypto Voxels, they announced they're gonna begin their token development, which I think a lot of people are really looking forward to. So hopefully that will drop sometime this year. And then Adidas, yeah, they did so many like things all of a sudden in the NFT space. They had a whole host of collaborations. So yeah, that covers 2021. As you can see, I think there were really big things happening for NFTs. And I mean, until last year, it wasn't big at all. They were not. Yeah, last year we really saw so many mainstream things happening. Like, just big, popular companies joining the space. And as you can see, most of the focus was in crypto art and collectibles. Um, so I think, I don't know if gaming will be the thing this year, because I think that takes like in development. And yeah, it will be interesting to see if we'll see a lot more development there this year or not. I think that could take longer. And I think fashion, like I said, will be something. And the metaverse, of course, everyone is talking about the metaverse now, right? Since Mark
Yeah,
Zuckerberg's thing with rebranding to Meta, it's all about the metaverse. So this will really be, I think, a huge topic in the next few years. And from now on, I think this is going to be there's going to be a lot of focus on that. Um, and yeah, I'm really, really interested to see music also. Um, Again, I don't know if this will be the year of music. I'm really excited to see what is this NFT year going to be about. Like, will collectibles and art still be taking all the attention, or what will be the next thing that people are going to go crazy about? And who knows when the bear market is coming, right? That's also something
yeah,
we're still waiting for. I think many people were expecting that by now the hype would have died down a bit, but crypto is down now, so NFTs are up. And it just keeps going for now. So let's see, um, when the hype dies down.
yeah. And I must admit, like, this was like a great walkthrough of like all the key events, and like you summed up very, very well. Like, so great article. And
Thank
uh,
you.
I want to wrap up the interview with last few questions in the space. So, can you talk about what what are the things that could go wrong for in 2022? Like, so we covered like some of the projects which will pick up, but what are like from a newbie perspective, like what are some things they should be very cautious about when they're getting into the new projects other than like art space?
So you mean if they are getting into like gaming or music?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I think again, I think the same rule applies. It's just if you don't really have money to put at risk and invest, I think even with other things it applies. Of course, with gaming, I feel like maybe that's less of a risk. And with gaming, it's really hard to say. Okay, with gaming, I do think there's also a lot of projects that are not ever gonna launch a game. They just keep saying they are, and they keep saying they're raising funds, and they keep launching like, I don't know, a token or something, or NFTs that you can buy. So I think again with gaming, you have to be careful investing in these, even like really popular ones. I don't want to drop names because I don't know. That's I don't think that's appropriate to drop names, but um, there's some popular ones where I'm quite skeptical of that they're ever gonna launch a game, because I know if you just look behind the scenes at what they're doing, they're not actually doing much. Uh, so I think, yeah, you have to be cautious with that. Um, because I do see a lot of new games coming out and being like, yeah, we're developing the best game ever, the first RPG or whatever other thing it is. So yeah, be cautious that maybe a game is never going to launch. Um,
Mhm.
and then with music, yeah, I'm not sure if people are even. I don't think that's. I don't think there's even really this whole flipping of NFTs happening there. I'm not sure because I haven't bought any music NFTs, but I think that's just more for you supporting the artist at the moment.
Mhm.
Maybe in a few years, yeah, it would be a great investment. But yeah, if you want to support an artist, I think it's never bad to, yeah, buy some music NFTs. Um, and yeah, I would say that's overall like the same rule applies, to all the other fields of NFTs. Just see if you are buying it to support the project, or if you're buying it as an investment, to be cautious. I think those are two very different
Got
mindsets. And you got to know
it.
which one you're going for. Is it investment or just to support and try out for fun?
Got it. And is like blockchain, crypto, and NFT very popular among the remote working or digital nomad community?
Yeah, good question. I would say yes. um, so most digital nomads know about something about NFTs. Most of them have crypto investments, like pretty much everyone. I think there's very, very few you'll meet that don't know or that haven't bought some kind of crypto. So yeah, it's really popular among digital nomads. And now where I am in Bali, um, wow, like I swear everyone just talks about crypto and NFTs. It's really crazy. It's actually a bit annoying sometimes because you cannot go to a cafe or a spa or anywhere like and you do not hear people talking about crypto. It's like, I promise you, everywhere you sit, like somebody next to you will be talking about crypto NFTs. It's really crazy. I've never seen that anywhere else. I don't know if it's like the people that Bali attracts or if like all the crypto and NFT people are here. But literally every single person is involved in something
Oh my
related
God.
to blockchain. It's really, really insane. Uh, so yeah, all the trendy people are here talking about crypto. um, but yeah, I would say it's really popular among people who are working online. Yeah.
Yeah. And are there any like frequent events the city or like the digital nomad community organizes related to crypto, like conference, workshops, or something?
Mhm. Yeah, I would say there's quite a lot of events. Of course, it depends where you are. Um, but I would say most places I've been to have at somewhere at some stage someone has hosted a crypto event. Like again, especially here in Bali, like I don't know, there must be like a few crypto and NFT events every week. Of course, not by companies or anything, just people who, I don't know, maybe people like me. Okay, I don't host any events, but just people who are interested in the space and want to teach others. So yeah, there's quite a few things happening, and I would say also, of course, in the US, I'm sure there's many things happening, but recently I was in Mexico, and that was the only talk I've ever done. I did a talk there at one of the co-workings called Selena. I did a talk there on NFTs, and not because I wanted to, but when people heard I was working for an NFT news company, they were like, "Oh my God, I heard about NFTs all this year, but I still don't get it. I'm not sure what it is. Like, please do a presentation on this." And that's when I put this PowerPoint together, and it was really fun. We all had a great time talking about NFTs, and people learned a lot. So yeah, I would say there's quite a few events always somewhere happening where there are travelers.
I see. Yeah, I love the Selena co-working space in Tulum, and it has like great
Oh
view.
yeah, that's
And
the one I went to. Have you been there?
yep,
Okay, that's great. So yeah, that's where I was for 2 weeks, and it was really fun. That co-working space is amazing. I met such cool people, and um, yeah, doing the presentation there, and just the whole space there is really nice, really really nice. That was one of the best like co-workings I've been to. Well, Selena co-workings, I've been to other ones, but that was a really great one. So I guess you work online as well.
yeah, like my job is hybrid, so like
Hmm.
because of COVID, it's mostly remote. But
Okay,
what I
nice.
wanted to know is like, so we know like there are a lot of perks of being digital nomad, like the flexibility, the freedom, and the remote
Hmm.
working. What were some things which were total surprise to you when you switched to this lifestyle, or like some challenging aspect which you didn't accounted?
Um, Honestly, I cannot answer that because I've worked most of my life in different countries, and I've had different jobs that were not remote at first, but um, I've always traveled and worked. I've only worked in an office, what, like once for a year, and that was like 10 years ago.
Oh.
So most of my working life, I've been traveling. And I don't feel that, I don't know, I cannot say like, wow, something shocked me or that was a surprise. It's always felt very natural to me and always what I knew I wanted. Um, so I cannot say that I had a transition period, you know? Like, yeah, I only worked that 1 year in an office and I couldn't wait to not be doing that. Um, I always knew from like since I was a teenager that I want to travel and work. So yeah, I feel I'm not the right person to ask for that.
All right. Uh, l- I'm gonna do like a rapid fire round before we end the interview. So you'll get like 5 to 10 seconds to answer a question in brief, and I'll quickly ask all the questions. So
Okay.
let's do this.
All
So
right.
which city is in your travel bucket list?
So ones I haven't been to.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't like cities, but let me think. Okay, I would like to see some US cities, like I guess New York and Los Angeles, Miami, you know, some places in California. That's next on my bucket list. I really want to go to the US, mostly for all the NFT events. So, yeah, to keep it short, there's many more, but that's next on my bucket list, the US.
Okay. Your favorite top three co-working cities?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I love Bali for co-working. And my really, really top favorite one for community is a place called Bansko in Bulgaria. And the co-working space is called Co-working Bansko. And I would say that's my number one actually for community. And then what would the third one be? I don't really have a third one. Well, yeah, I would say from the ones I have experienced, I really loved Selena in Tulum. That was really, really fun. Yeah.
I see. Uh, any particular like digital nomad or book or video which made a big impact in your life?
Ah, mm, No, I don't really read about digital nomad things. Um, no, I would say honestly, the only useful one for me is I follow a Facebook group called Digital Nomads Around the World. But other than that, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
I see. And what are things that excite you the most when you wake up each day?
So I love if I'm in a place like I'm now in Bali where I can wake up and it's silent and you hear the birds and the nature. This is really, really exciting for me. And then, of course, just knowing that the weather is good outside, really simple things, just the weather. And of course, for me, my work. I love waking up to know that I'm gonna enjoy what I'm doing in the day. Probably this comes also before anything else because I've done jobs where I didn't wake up feeling excited for the day. And for me, it's so amazing to have work now that I genuinely like so enjoy. And even if other things are not going well in my life, I'm like, wow, I'm still super excited and I know I can do this. Yeah, I would say my work, nature, and just amazing weather. And yeah, those are the top three.
I see. Is there anything you wish you would have done differently in your career?
Yes. I wish I would have focused more on developing my business skills and professional side of life earlier on. Because at first I was really more of a backpacker traveler. Like I was teaching English first. This was many, many years ago. And at one stage I had worked on yachts. It was like, yeah, the first like 2 years I was traveling, 2 or 3 years, and I was feeling very lost at the time. And also I have to say at that time I didn't really know about working online and being a digital nomad. And I like, okay, I had heard of it, but I never believed it was something I could do or I could achieve. It seemed like it was only for really smart people.
Mhm.
um and I can see that was like really not at all the reality. And I'm just like not believing in myself and that I can be good as a business person and professionally. So um I mean, I think that also comes a lot from my background, and also I think it depends on how your parents raise you and your confidence and all of that. But yeah, I would say that's one thing that I do regret a little bit, not like focusing on that early on in my life. But at the same time, I had other amazing experiences, so it's not
Mhm.
that bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And which city's food and culture you like the most?
Oh wow, that is a good one. Which city's foreign culture? So oh my goodness, I've been to so many places. Um, okay, in terms of food or the people?
I'm gonna keep it open.
Okay. Oh wow, because I like different places for different reasons. So I really loved it when I was in China, just because I wouldn't say it's my favorite place to live. No, not at all. But I loved that it was such a culture shock for me. And it really surprised me at like how actually welcoming the Chinese people and how excited they get about foreigners. This was really interesting. Then in terms of uh people, I've really enjoyed, like, I love the people specifically in Bali. I find them super welcoming. I know some people disagree with us. I've only experienced Bali when it's not touristic and in the pandemic, so maybe people act differently. um and then I found Costa Rican people also really smiling and welcoming. Um, in terms of food, I was in India like in 2020 for 6 months, and that was really, really wow. I just loved the food there, and also it was super vibrant and also so different to what I've experienced. So yeah, that's a tough one because I feel like each place has something
Yeah.
very different. Yeah, that's a really tough one.
Yeah. Which city were you in India?
I was in so I was in the state Kerala. Um and oh my goodness, what was the, how can I forget? I
Like
would, oh my gosh, I
idli,
have such,
dosa.
it was with a V. I cannot believe that I'm forgetting and I was there for 6 months. Oh my goodness. I
Well,
will write to you.
yeah, it's fine.
Varkala. Oh my God,
But
Varkala. I just had such a brainstorm, like, oh gosh, where was I? So bad. Just all of a sudden, my brain could not remember, and I was there for 6 months, you know? Yeah, Varkala. Do you know Varkala?
I've heard about it, but I haven't been there. Yeah, I
Okay, yeah,
stay in
it's,
Western. Yeah,
oh, okay. Which city are you from?
Surat in Gujarat. So it's
Okay, I
2 hours
haven't
from
heard of it.
Mumbai. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. Yeah, I only stayed in Varkala because obviously at the time, like the whole pandemic thing happened. So I didn't really want to travel around too much. And it was really nice to stay there anyway. So it's a really nice beach town. Yeah.
That's awesome. So my final question is there anything which we didn't cover in this interview and you would like to share?
Um, I think just to end it, I want to say um that yeah, I really do encourage people to just at least, if they have some extra money to spare, to see the market and try it out and to be open-minded about this whole space, and just to know that it's, as everyone says, it's still early, and you know, I think the market is super like all over the place still and very immature, but yeah, just to be open-minded about, I know many people who are like, oh, crypto and this and that, but I think it's good to just give new things an opportunity and yeah, to try it out. Maybe it works out for you, maybe it doesn't. Uh, but to keep somewhat up to date with the new developments in the tech world. And I think that's really important, especially for us younger people as the world changes. It is good um, to just have a sense of what's going on because there's so many opportunities, especially for money and developing new skills out there that we don't know about. And I know a lot of people can, I've been there, like where you feel lost and you don't know where to go, but there's really a lot of opportunities. And it's just about like keeping your mind open and keep educating yourself and learning. And yeah, just like trying new things out. There's really a lot of things out there to know about and to try out.
Yeah, and that's what even like travel and digital nomad teaches, like to always be open and adapt to the circumstances, and it so like it
Exactly.
has that
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. To just have that mindset of, yeah, adapting to new things and not staying like in your little box of what you know, and which can be so easy, you know, so easy to be in your comfort zone and just get else. But yeah, it's good to.
So Evelina, should I expect an article on NFT Plaza about NFT culture in Bali?
That was a really good article, actually. I think I should, yeah, I really like that idea. I think I should put something together about NFTs in Bali and that, yeah, maybe this is a place to be and not the US.
Yeah, like what are some spots globally for NFT artists, like NFT hubs?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in my experience, Bali is the place.
You know,
uh,
now Bali is on my bucket list to visit soon.
Yeah, yeah, you should come. It's really great here. If you have the opportunity, it's a bit hard to get here at the moment, but you know, if you have the chance, it's really great, and there's always interesting people to meet, and a lot of well, not a lot, but a few co-working spaces have nice networking events where you can meet others, and yeah, you're guaranteed to just meet other people in this field anywhere and everywhere. Like I said, even at the spa, if you go, like that happened to me. I was in the sauna and
Oh my
people
God,
next to me were talking about like crypto and NFTs.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really insane.
Um, So, like, do you generally stay like in a co-working hostel, or you like rent out a place or an apartment for a few months and stay like work in the co-working space?
So usually, yeah, usually I don't stay at a co-working. Um, w- because with my boyfriend, so usually we rent a place together. I did try out the Selena in Mexico because at the time he went to NFT NYC, and I thought like, okay, this is a really good time to actually stay at a co-working because usually we just have a monthly membership and we stay somewhere else. But I thought it would be great to try out the co-living and co-working there. But yeah, usually I don't, and I wouldn't say I'm super active at co-working spaces. Like maybe I'll go once, twice a week. But I do love working from home. I go more for the social aspect than anything else. But
Mhm.
I just love like being comfortable at home and
Yep.
yeah, not having to really like go sit in an office. I mean, I think also that's the fun thing about working online is that you get to work from home or a nice cafe, I don't want to really go work in an office every day. That's what I'm trying to escape from.
Yeah, even I was
Yeah.
at NYC NFT. It was amazing. So,
Oh, did you go? Wow.
yeah,
That's amazing. There's another one I heard in June, and I really wanted to
June.
go to that one, but it's hard with. So I have a Bulgarian and a South African passport, but none of those countries are part of the visa waiver program. So I have to like apply and do an interview. And actually, at the time, it wasn't even open. Like now, I saw that they've opened the applications again, and I'm thinking of trying to apply. But it's such a nightmare. Like,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be crazy if I have to do the whole interview thing and
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
fingers crossed. Yeah, like I said, I really want to go to the US, so let's see what happens this year.
Awesome. It was a great chat, and thanks a lot, Evelina, for sharing your work, thoughts. It was quite
Yeah.
insightful, and I had a great time interviewing you.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun to chat to you and just to share some of my experience and yeah, to just have this amazing live stream. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll follow for more Bali stories, and maybe if you visit US, we'll follow up.
Great. Awesome.
Bye
Bye.
bye.